Hello, I tweeted yesterday about rendering several instances of Blender on the same GPU without any or much impact on render time. So someone asked if I could record a little video to explain how I do this. Apologies for the low quality of sound. I don't tend to record tutorials. Anyway, so I've created this scene. It's really simple. I've made the cubes insanely dense. They have a very high subsurf or subdivision surface modifier. Anyway, I did that so that the build time was very big for the scene, because this technique only really works if you have a very long build time compared to the render time. So you can see we're rendering the shot here, and it's 31 seconds so far. It's still building. 36 seconds before the render actually starts, and 40 seconds in total. So it takes 5 seconds for the GPU to render the shot, but 35 to build it. So what I tend to do when rendering animations anyway is render from the terminal. A lot of the time you can get a bit of a speed boost, but it's also really easy to render multiple instances of Blender at the same time. So you can see in the top terminal window, the shot is rendering. If you don't know how to render from the terminal, I'll probably post a link with the tweet with information on how to do this. It's quite simple when you know how. So you can see the render's going, 31 seconds, it's still building. It's packing the BVH nodes now, 36, so it's a similar sort of time that we're getting rendering inside of Blender. And you can see it's 40 seconds in total. Okay, so because we're rendering the animation, it's gone on to the next frame. It's rendering frame 2. And I've got overwrite switched off inside of the project. So when I set another instance of Blender rendering, like I'm about to with the other terminal window, there we go, it jumps to the next frame in the sequence. So the bottom terminal window is rendering frame 3. We can see the top terminal window is still going, 34 seconds, and it's packing the BVH and is rendering. There we go, and you can see it's a bit slower than before, so it's 43 seconds rather than 40. The bottom one, it's building the BVH at 30, there we go, so it's going up. 35. It's like watching paint dry. Cool, there we go, 50 seconds. So obviously that's 10 seconds slower than just rendering one instance of Blender, but if you think about it, 2 instances rendering at 50 seconds per frame is a lot faster than 1 instance rendering at 40 seconds per frame. So you can see the top instance, it's getting 51 seconds, so roughly about the same sort of time. And yeah, you're essentially doubling the render power available to you, but this only works with scenes where you have build time, I'd say, which is at least the same amount of time as the render time, because the trick to this is staggering the renders. So when I set the second instance of Blender rendering, I waited for about the 20-second mark, so it's about halfway, before I set it going. And I did this because you need to have one instance building while the other one's rendering. So I hope people found this useful. Yeah, it's a little thing, but it could end up saving you a good couple of hours in render time. Just these little things, if it's suitable for the project you're working on. Cool. Thanks, bye.